We'll settle in for a meditation that focuses on our breathing. We'll alternate that with a chanting meditation, where with each breath, we'll say hum twice, like hum, hum, and we'll allow that to last the whole length of the breath. Everyone can do it at their own pace. It won't be synchronized exactly. And we'll alternate that back and forth with the focus on our breathing. We'll also spend a little time reading from and discussing a passage from Pema Chodron's Comfortable with Uncertainty. And we'll close with dedication of merit to all beings, and especially to those who we put in this book. So I'll pass this around for signing. People online can provide the information in chat, either on Zoom and YouTube, and we'll make sure that that also gets in the book. Okay. You can take your time. Okay, so let's start with the aspirational prayer. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. Okay, we'll take a moment to settle in. I want to focus a little bit on your posture. You'll aim to sit straight, but not stiff. We'll want to be relaxed. You can leave your eyes open in an unfocused gaze a few feet in front of you. We'll focus on the 3 pillars that support us in this meditation. The first pillar is the earth itself. We're sitting directly over the center, fully supported by the earth in a straight line from the center of the earth, through our body, through the crown of our head, which is open to the sky. We're supported also by our bones, our skeletal structure. And by our central channel, where our breath comes in and out. You can focus on the breath either at the tip of your nose or as it comes in and out of your chest, or where it collects in the belly near the navel. You can experience the sensation of the breath at any of these places. How the breath feels coming in and going out. When you've noticed your mind has wandered to some other thought, just gently bring it back to noticing that sensation of the breath. Gently refocus whenever needed. Now we'll begin the home practice. Spend a moment to notice how you feel, how the body feels, and the mind after that chanting. And then bring your attention back to the breath. Again, take a moment to explore how you feel, and then bring your attention to your breathing. Feel free to stretch. So we like to mention that the chanting part of this practice was transmitted to our lamas here, to Rigzin Drolma and Namgyal Dorje, Anand Harvey, by Adzam Rinpoche, who provided a practice that would be both simple and profound. And I find it is pretty special myself. I think it calms the body in an interesting way. Okay, so we started a couple weeks ago to read some sections from this book, Comfortable with Uncertainty. Pema Chodron is, if you're not familiar with her, you probably recognize her picture, one of the early Westerners who studied Tibetan Buddhism and began to teach it here. The book is not too long, and it's divided into 108 chapters, pith instructions, just about a page each. And we've been going through one of these a week. And lucky for me, the chapter today has the same title of the book, of Comfortable with Uncertainty. So easy to stay on theme. And I'll read this first, have a thing or two to say, and then have a discussion, hopefully. Those who train wholeheartedly in awakening bodhicitta are called bodhisattvas, or warriors. Not warriors who kill, but warriors of non-aggression, who hear the cries of the world. Warrior bodhisattvas enter challenging situations in order to alleviate suffering. They are willing to cut through personal reactivity and self-deception. They are dedicated to uncovering the basic, undistorted energy of bodhicitta. A warrior accepts that we can never know what will happen to us next. We can try to control the uncontrollable by looking for security and predictability, always hoping to be comfortable and safe. But the truth is that we can never avoid uncertainty. This not knowing is part of the adventure. It's also what makes us afraid. Wherever we are, we can train as warrior. Our tools are sitting meditation, tonglen, slogan practice, and cultivating the four limitless qualities of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. With the help of these practices, we will find the tenderness of bodhicitta in sorrow and in gratitude, behind the hardness of rage and in the shakiness of fear. In loneliness as well as in kindness, we can uncover the soft spot of basic goodness. But bodhicitta training offers no promise of happy endings. Rather, this I, who wants to find security, who wants something to hold on to, will finally learn to grow up. If we find ourselves in doubt that we're up to being a warrior in training, we can contemplate this question: do I prefer to grow up and relate to life directly, or do I choose to live and die in fear? So, the chapter opens talking about describing bodhisattvas as warriors. And of course, these images make a big contrast in our head, not only because warriors are involved in battle, while we imagine bodhisattvas as peaceful, but also because we imagine the bodhisattvas have finished all their battles, or above the fray, have accomplished what they're after, kind of above everything instead of still in the trenches. But as we've said around here there's no enlightened retirement. And even after we do make accomplishments, we are still in this world with its uncertainty. You know, one of the Tibetan words that's used for bodhisattva is just borrowing from the Sanskrit sattva. Sattva is a sentient being. Bodhisattva is a wise, sentient being. So this really speaks to the Tibetan understanding that all beings have this capacity for wisdom. And, you know, bodhisattva is often described as having, you know, three attributes. One being meditative concentration, the second being the 10 powers, which is an enumerated list, and then third, that they're grounded in fearlessness. And we're not going to get to the point of fearlessness by gaining certainty. That's not where it's going to come from. It's going to come from being in a place where our heart is big enough to take in all that uncertainty also, and realize that that's just part of where we are in the world. You know, she writes, warriors of non-aggression, bodhisattvas are warriors of non-aggression who hear the cries of the world. You know, this is also the translation of the Sanskrit name for Chenrezig, the Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva who, you know, in Chinese tradition, sometimes called the goddess of mercy. In Tibetan tradition, normally the avatar is male, but you know, devoted to helping all of those suffering in the world. She goes on to say that a warrior accepts we can never know what will happen to us next. I was listening to NPR the other week, and they mentioned, while talking about some economic situation, the acronym VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complication, and ambiguity, as, you know, four descriptors of the situations we often run into. You know, a lot of our craving is to not have the situation, to have that security and predictability in our lives. In fact, you know, we'll just make it up if we can't find it. And this is what we're talking about when we say that the bodhisattva is one who is willing to cut through personal reactivity and self-deception. Because first, you know, one of the purposes of meditation is to develop an awareness of the way we're reacting to our environment, because normally it escapes us that we're even doing it at all. And to be aware of how we're spinning a narrative, the kind of self-deception we engage in every day. You know, speaking of unpredictability, you know, I know interview question people always ask at jobs is, what's your 5-year plan? What are you doing in 5 years? I couldn't tell you. I would never have been right if I ever answered this question. There's not one time that I had a clue what was happening 5 years from now. And I just wanted to say that she mentions in loneliness as well as in kindness, we can uncover the soft spot of basic goodness. And I think that it's important to remember that. We're trying to cultivate a heart that's soft enough to receive the world as it is, and to be comfortable with, to have some equanimity about all the things that are going to come our way, the impermanence of it and the suffering of it. she spends some time outlining some of the practices that we can use to train as a warrior. And I think, we're using sitting meditation here today, Tonglen practice of taking and receiving, taking in suffering of the world and shedding it also. And then the 4 immeasurables, or the 4 boundless states, which she describes here as the 4 limitless qualities. These are all things we can, loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity. These are all qualities that we can cultivate. And no promises of happy endings. So, this body will still come to an end, and we'll still have physical suffering. And there's a Pali Sutta called the 2 darts, that, what's the difference between a well-instructed disciple and an average run-of-the-mill person? Both suffer physical pain and mental pain, but the well-instructed disciple, it's as if he is only hit by 1 dart, the dart that's sent that is that physical pain or mental pain, while most of us spend our time creating a second dart that we throw at ourselves also, that amplifies that. Okay, any thoughts? Anyone want to share? Here or online? Wendy?
I can share something. It just, when you said, we spend, we try to make our life comfortable, and then, but what I've been noticing lately is that when you're comfortable, then you're worried about not being comfortable. So there's suffering both ways. Like if you're healthy, you're worried about being unhealthy, so you're doing all these things to prevent that. And yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt. I've found some of the times that I've been able to get out of my own narratives and headspace have been the times where, the world interrupts my plan and presents me with a difficult situation. Maybe a family member goes to the hospital, and it really disrupts, the narrative I'd had and forces me into the moment, and puts me in a place where I've kind of just got to take it as it comes. The narrative fails. It's not going to hold up under the scrutiny of reality.
I'm curious about the last statement about what a trained bodhisattva takes 1 dart, whereas an untrained person takes 2. I feel like I get it, but I would love to hear if anyone has examples of what that actually means.
Sure. Yeah, the 2 darts. So sure. The question's asking to expound on this 2 darts idea that we, everyone suffers from at least 1 dart, but most people are hit by a second dart, and that's normally, I think, and I'd welcome all kinds of anyone's input on this too, but when I have a cold, I'm physically pretty miserable with the cold, but I also probably spend at least as much time thinking about how miserable I am with this cold and really creating a whole new level of misery for myself, when I could just be on the couch and experience what it's like, because it's variable like everything else, and it's temporary. 1 minute I might actually feel bad, and then next a little better, and then worse again. But if I'm spending all my time thinking about how miserable I am, I've given myself a whole new headache. Okay, well, let's do another round of meditation on our breathing and chanting, and then we'll get ready to close. So if everyone will sit comfortably again, bring our attention to our breath, either at the tip of the nose or in the belly, in the chest. Can I grab the book? Okay, so we'll do the dedication and blessing that's on this page. We'll read the names here, and I have a couple announcements too before we close. And but after the blessing, we'll chant "Ah" together 3 times. So let's start with the dedication, if we could. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. And we dedicate the merit to all living beings, and especially Sue and John, Nilanzari, John Bardo and family, Doug and family, Tom Reed and Bardo, Trisha, Glenn Draper and family, Caitlin, Diane, Julia, and Esther. Now the blessing. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. Thank you, everyone. And as a reminder, we'll have a new 3-week online Teaching Tuesday series. It'll start July 18th, called Fresh Eyes on Green Tara. Video recordings are available to all registrants with no time limit, and you can find more information at our website. And second, there's sponsored by a collaboration between Don Mountain and the Institute for Spirituality and Health and the Council on Recovery. We're offering an online class titled Bridging Neurobiology and Buddhist Views on Craving, Addiction, and Recovery. It includes 6 CEU credits. It'll be 2 Saturday mornings in July, and for the first time, we'll be offering simultaneous Spanish translation. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Anything you want to add? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, appreciate your time, everyone. Thanks for coming. Be careful out there.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Hi, Nancy. Are you having internet trouble?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have bandwidth problems today.
Yeah. Oh. Well, hope it improves.
Me too.
Have a good day.